Okay, hi Peter. I wanted to take some time and give you sort of a summary of what we've worked on to this point so far, and then kind of where we'll go with things trending forward in the future. So the first thing, your golf swing has a tendency to have this right hand sort of, it kind of scoops underneath and it over releases. And that causes the club face to kind of throw in this direction a little bit. And there's some thin shots and there's some pulls in your motion. And so the first way we started to combat this was sort of getting your arm swing to attack the ground better. So that by moving my arms into the ground, it would actually strengthen up this left wrist, it would strengthen up the back of this right wrist, and then through impact, we started to see that your hands weren't flipping or releasing so much. They were starting to hold their structure into the ground, and then through, everything was starting to sort of turn around the corner together. So how we went about doing this was just simply by getting you to sort of attack the ground better with the golf club. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing in the backswing and sort of clear up and give you some peace of mind in terms of what's going on to create the leverage. And then once we've created the leverage properly, how that's going to clean up impact and to the finish. So what you've started to work on, and I think you're doing a great job of this pivot, or this idea in the program where we talk about pushing back and winding the ribs up. And so what happens is my shoulders only have so much ability to turn in my upper spine. So my shoulders only get me to about here. Let's say that's 45 degrees. Well, I've got to get my shoulders to 90 degrees. So what gives me that extra 45 is my pelvis pivoting straight back. So now I'm at 90, okay? And so what we started to work on was, okay, how do we get this pelvis to push back while turning without straightening this right leg totally? I don't want it all the way locked out, but it's going to feel like it pushes back, and this leg has some straightness to it as you pivot back in this direction, because what you're doing is you're winding your body up to create the leverage. Now, as you do this movement with the body better and better, what's going to end up happening is it's going to change the placement of where your arms are used to being. So the deeper my turn gets in this direction, the more my hands are going to move to the inside. So where I want my hands to be, let's say setup is position 1, halfway back is position 2, or parallel to the ground is position 2, and then left arm parallel to the ground is position 3. So in this backswing, what gets my arms deep is not my arms moving in. It's my body pivoting straight back and my ribs loading in this direction. That's what brings my arms to get deep, or to the inside, so that I can attack the golf ball from the inside quadrant. So as I pivot better, my hands move more in. And a checkpoint for this would be sort of your hands covering your right bicep when the left arm's parallel to the ground. So my pivot is what got my arms deep. Now, if I have any excessive independent arm movement, let's say, for instance, you might have had some time where you've pulled the club more to the inside in your takeaway. Well, if I move my arms in here independently and then start pivoting my body better, I'm just going to get my arms deeper and deeper and deeper to where it's too far to the inside. So what the feeling is in the arms in Jack's golf swing is the arms are going pretty much up, down, up. He wants the club staying on the baseline or the target line as long as possible. He wants the face square for a really long time through here. He doesn't want anything rolling or causing extra curvature on the golf ball. So with that being said, the arms are trying to keep this club up and down this line as well as possible. Now what happens is the body, while the arms are doing that, the body's simultaneously pivoting and creating leverage back in this direction. So where the club ends up getting is that pretty place we're used to seeing Sam Snead and Jack Nicklaus. But he didn't put the club there with his arms. His arms are trying to keep the club up and down this line. The body pivoting gives it some depth and some leverage. So as you get better and better with your body pivot, you're winding up, you're pushing back, and you're staying centered, we're gonna need your arms to feel a little bit more like they're, I was mentioning touching the sky, but more like they're going up, down to attack the ball differently. Because as you pivot better and your arms get higher, you've got an opportunity to use more width, more leverage, and more gravity to get the hand speed up and the attack angle more compressed. So, as things sit right now, we're cleaning up your takeaway to where it just feels like, if this is the line the ball's on, it'll just feel like the club goes straight back on this line with your arms, so straight back, not outside and disconnected, just straight back. But while I'm going straight back in my arms, my body's starting to turn, my right hip's starting to push back, my right rib's starting to load up. So we'll work on continuing to stay centered and building your pivot. Then we'll work on cleaning up your arm swing to the top of the backswing. Then we'll see what we've got in terms of how you're able to attack the ball into impact, how we're able to strengthen up your wrists, and then get you up into that front side crescent sort of uppercut position, because as you get better at attacking the ground, we're gonna have to get better on the front side of the golf swing to keep things from going too into the ground or too down and left. So I think this is a good summary of sort of where we're at. I appreciate the time and getting to hang out with you up at Desert Mountain. And let me know your thoughts on this. I appreciate it. Thank you.